Thank you very much indeed, Dan. It's great to be here. I play pieces of music like this before a class every so often because I like to introduce to a room the concept of something that I know I can't do, because it contextualizes the things that I believe I can do. So I'm not an opera singer by any stretch of the imagination. If there's a reality show out there, maybe, who knows, give me a year. But, you know, we could all probably hum that tune, whistle it maybe, but how many of us in this room could sing that aria from Magic Flute? I don't know. So why am I here and who am I? I'm Rebecca Root, as Dan said. I'm an actor, I'm a voice teacher, a lecturer, a sometime academic, a comedian, a poet, a photographer, a writer, a collector, an artist, ceramicist, a runner, jogger, swimmer. And some of those things I do for a living, and some are just hobbies. And those are things that I do. And then there's the other side of me, who am I? I am Anglo-Irish, mid-40s, soft, wussy, southern British dwelling, 13.5 stone, 6 foot something, sister, daughter, niece, auntie, female, trans person. And it is these bookends, being an actor and being a trans woman, a transsexual woman, a transgender woman, or however you wish to describe me. Those two bookends, I think, are why, I suspect, are why I'm here today. Because I think that's what, I have a perspective which I think I would be able to illuminate for you. When I was a kid, literally 4 decades ago, all I really ever wanted to do was to be an actor and to be a girl. And how those two elements of my life have balanced are what I sort of want to talk about, because this play I'm doing at the Pleasance, myself and the cast, we were asked by an interviewer the other day, so which of you is an actress and which of you is a transsexual? And we all went, oh, hang on a sec, we're all actresses, we're all actors, and those of us who are trans said, well, we're trans as well. You know, we can be both. You don't just have to be one or the other. And yes, I am both. But for many years, my pursuit of my vocation as an actor was tempered by my desire to live in my true identity as a woman. So I pursued the acting. I did school plays, Amdram, National Youth Theatre, trained as an actor at Mount View Academy in London, and I became a jobbing actor in the male role. And it was exhausting because you are living a double lie. You're lying for a living, if you like, because that's what acting is. You're lying in a nice way, I hope. And when you step off stage, you are continuing a lie, because you're lying and saying, you know, I'm actually this dude, I'm this guy, when I did not feel like that at all. And so I put my female identity into the corners behind me, until it came to the point where I thought, you know what, what's more important? How I earn a living, or how I live, how I identify in the world? And I said to myself, you know what, right, I'm going to knock this on the head and I'm going to transition. So I thought, well, it'd be a shame if I don't act again, but we'll see what happens. And I transitioned about 10 years ago, around the time that YouTube was kicking off as a website. And I went from, a lot of my friends thought, not that I was mad for transitioning, they thought, do you know how few parts there are for female actors? And that was illuminated. I was once in a production of Hamlet. I'm going off script here now, but I was in a production of Hamlet. I was a spear carrier. Peter Hall directed it. Stephen Delane was in it, and it was a great production 20 or so years ago. And there were 3 women in that production out of a cast of some 25. And when I transitioned, I went to see a production of King Lear or something at the RSC, and of course there are a few women out of a cast of 25. Fewer than 5 people were female on that stage. And I thought, that's what they meant, right. And then you add into the mix the fact that I'm a trans female. I'm not just a female person, female actor, I am a trans person. How many parts are there for trans actors? How many people out there are professional actors who also happen to be trans? Very few. But that's changing. And I'm thrilled to be part of this moment that my community is having, it's enjoying in the spotlight, the limelight, the glow, if you like, which started across the water, yes, thank you, America, for transparent oranges, the orange is something. Orange is not the only black, you know what I mean. I've really done my research on this. Boys Don't Cry, all of those movies, some of which are, have trans women in those chief protagonist roles, and others do not. They have cisgender people playing trans roles. Cisgender means identifying as the gender with which you were assigned at birth. I imagine the majority of people in this room are probably, I'm guessing, cisgender, or would identify as cisgender. So now, here in the UK, we're catching up with America. Yay! We've got a little trumpet and we're blowing it. And I'm delighted to be part of that with Boy Meets Girl, which is the BBC Two sitcom, which came from an initiative 2 or 3 years ago from the campaign group All About Trans, the BBC Writers' Room, Tiger Aspect, and BBC Comedy. And through a process of table read, through pilot, through commissioning of the first series, and a number of auditions along the way, I am the girl in Boy Meets Girl. And it debuts next Thursday, a week today, 3rd of September, 9:30, BBC Two, for 6 episodes into October. So please, please, please watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, just tell somebody to watch it, and that'll just get the viewing figures up. I see I'm running out of time, so I just want to finish by sharing a little anecdote, which might seem a bit oblique, but last week I climbed the mountain, Arthur's Seat. I needed some fresh air and some exercise, and I'm sure if you haven't climbed Arthur's Seat yet, if you do find time, do it. It's a fabulous view. The slope, the path up the hill is fairly steep, it's a bit rough, but it's okay. You can do it in 20 minutes of hard walking, pausing to take a photo every now and again. And you keep going, you think, bloody hell, am I nearly there yet? And you get to this little bit by the top, and it's a grassy slope, and it's really nice. It's where people are hanging out, having picnics and things. And you look at Edinburgh and the view, and it's just gorgeous. And you think, is this it? Is this the top? And then you look up and you see the rock, the volcanic plug at the top, and you think, oh no, that's the top. And that's the tough bit. That's the bit where you've got to dig your heels in and get a bit dirty, holding on to rocks. Maybe there is another path around the back, which I didn't see, but I climbed up the side. And I feel like in my career and with my community, I feel like I'm now in that little grassy slope where I'm almost at the top. But I've got something to aim for. I'm striving to get to, I hope, somewhere around the top of my profession, my love, my craft, my vocation of being an actor, earning my living as an actor. And not just any old actor, but a transsexual actor. It's a little bit lonely sometimes, but there are more of us coming through. If you come to see transcripts at the Pleasance, you'll see 6 women on stage telling trans stories, experiences, There are more people coming through. Talking to Stuart about his students at the BRIT School, some people there are identifying as trans. More and more people are feeling comfortable coming forward and identifying as trans. More and more actors are able to say, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to allow being trans to hold me back, and I'm not going to jeopardize my acting career for the sake of my gender identity. I just want to close by thanking you for giving me and my community this platform. It's essential that we have these conversations. Please do take them to your companies, your channels, and continue talking about this issue. Thank you very much indeed.